a little while since I've done one. It's because I didn't think too much had happened, but things are looking better now. The growth has been good. So first we'll start off with the royal up front, really coming out of that winter damage and just flourishing. The new fronds are much larger, they're very lush. It's been really quick. It's really actually starting to fatten up at the base here, and I've been getting some decent rains here and there. Better than last year anyway, more consistent. So that one's doing well. We'll hop over here to the first Becario Phoenix Alfredii. Not much has happened. They've been really slow. I think they're establishing, so they're going to be slow for the first year at least. A lot of yellowing. I think it's been really hot lately. A lot of heat advisories. It's really hot out right now as well. I'll hop over here. I'll show you guys a couple the coconuts and whatnot. So here is my Fiji dwarf. It's very big. The spread on it from the two widest fronds there is probably almost 20 feet, maybe 15. It's pretty dang big. It's really coming out of the minor boron deficiency it had in the spring, because I've been fertilizing it pretty heavy. It's very dark, very lush. It's very beautiful. We have been getting, you can see up there, I don't know if you guys can see that burn. That's just the angle of the sun hitting the fronds. It's burning it. It's been so hot. And we also have, of course, a ton of mites under there, which I'm probably going to spray this week. But I mean, growth is very dark, very healthy, very happy. I did actually, because I had a bunch of ants and a bunch of nests, I ripped off a lot of the old boots, so I just came in there and I just tore them all off. So we are actually getting some trunk now. Probably the first almost 6 inches of trunk right here. So very nice. I did have this bit of in a couple spots like red, almost red coming out of the trunk. Not sure what that was. I couldn't figure it out, but the palm does seem healthy and happy, so I don't think that it's anything to be of concern right now. I'm just keeping an eye on it. But that's my Fiji dwarf. Next to it, the green Malayan. I don't know if I explained in the last episode with the mealybugs and the spear. I actually did a lot of work on this one. Widened the area so you can get more water. I actually just gave it a bunch of fertilizer to really kick it into gear, because after I've been treating it for months and months and months, and I just haven't really seen much progress. I mean, you guys can see up here. Let me back up actually. You guys can kind of see it's like 6 fronds on it. It's not very happy, but I think we might be getting somewhere with it now. Up there, you can kind of see I cut out the middle spear. I cut out a lot of those mealybugs so I could treat it. You can see the cuts I made, and I cut out multiple spears, but you can start to see up there it's starting to open some leaves now and push them. It looks like we got a healthy, clean spear coming out in the center, so I think it's actually picking up the pace on growing, and I think that it's going to be fine. I had a couple people tell me it might not make it. Usually mealybug infestation is that bad in the spear, and coming out of winter is just a really terrible sign. And I didn't think it was going to make it for a long time because it wasn't pushing, but it's growing now. I'm hoping we can get at least a couple more fronds before the winter time, because if not, it's not going into winter very strong. And if we get a really harsh winter, that could easily knock it off. So been pulling off some of the boots. I think we're up to about almost 4 feet of trunk now. No more flower space yet. Obviously I didn't expect it to with the condition it's in, but who knows, maybe in the next couple of months, now that it's pushing again, either one of these could throw a flower spathe. So I'm really hoping to get some coconuts on there again. Anyway, so I'll walk over to one of the final sections in the yard, and we'll take a look at what I've got over here. So the Arconta phoenixes have been growing quick. They've been very happy over here. I know Arconta phoenix in Florida often get a lot of burn. If I could recommend planting them where they get some afternoon shade or filtered light like this, they absolutely appreciate that in Florida, so they don't burn. This is Arconta phoenix tuckeri. It's beefing up pretty quickly. This one right here is my Arconta phoenix cunninghamia, variety Iwara. It's got that tannish white kind of crown shaft, and it's beefing up. It's put out some really nice leaves, much bigger, much healthier. Looks very happy. And then we'll hop over right here. This one finally put out its first leaf, and it's about to open a second spear. This is my Arconta phoenix maxima. Very, very healthy, very, very happy. Starting to kind of put on some size at the base, as most Arconta phoenix do, especially maxima. Maxima is supposed to have the largest trunk out of those. The only Arconta phoenix I didn't have survive was the Alexandre. I really think during that earlier period of no rain and it was just hot, everything, I was watering them every day, and absolutely I haven't been watering them because they're established, but for the first 2 months I was watering every other day. Arconta phoenix really love their water. That's what they want. And over here the ground stays moist because it gets a little bit of sun throughout the day, but we get that kind of shade and filtered light. But the Alexandre didn't like it, I guess. That one just declined pretty rapidly. But the other Arconta phoenix seems to be much more tough compared to Alexandre. I've heard of other people having problems with that one too. So if you're looking to plant Arconta phoenix, look into the other varieties like cunninghamia, maxima, tuckeri. They're all just as fast. They're very, very quick, very robust growers. Here's the Adelea batracea. It finally finished pushing this frond, and it's opening a new spear. So very slow grower, but steady. Seems to be pretty happy. And we'll come over here, and we got another Becario phoenix alfredii. This one's not as yellow because, like I said, it gets a little bit of shade, still gets some sun. It's in full right now, probably for the next hour or two. But this one seems to be pretty happy. The Syagris amara, pushing pretty quickly. This one's been a really steady grower. I don't think the growth rate's changed much at all. It doesn't really fluctuate. It's just been really steady, pretty robust. It's been a pretty happy palm, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then over here, this is a very, very beautiful palm. I'll show you guys from another angle. I was pulling off one of the bases there. I don't think it's ready to come off yet because it is a crown shaft palm, and I know it did have some mealy bugs down there, so I sprayed. But there is that palm. And you guys might be looking at that and thinking it looks like a Veitchia. Well, it kind of does. Veitchia would be a struggle to grow here, but if you're looking at that kind of black speckled trunk, looks like a foxtail. That's because it's a hybrid between foxtail and Veitchia. It's a foxy lady. I got this one in a 7-gallon, I believe. It's an F2 foxy lady, so it came from seed from a foxy lady, which is very, very rare that they produce viable seed. But it did come from that, and it's very, very beautiful palm. Very fast. I did find that my other specimen burned in the sun a little bit. They do seem to appreciate some shade, especially since they were grown in shade. But we got a new spear. And you see it's got the cut edges like a foxtail and wide leaflets like a Veitchia. Very, very gorgeous palm. Very robust grower, supposed to be more cold hardy than both the parents and faster growing. Now this thing, when I got it, I buried it a little deeper, but it did have its first ring of trunk down there. So it won't be long, and this thing will actually be developing trunk. I think by the end of the growing season, we might have the first 6 inches of trunk or so. They're very, very fast. I planted it in the ground. I marked the spear is pushing almost an inch a day without an establishment. So, very fast grower. I think that's it for the palms that are in the ground. I do have several specimens in pots, but I'm not going to show those right now. Maybe I'll do that in a separate update. But if you guys have any questions or comments, I'll answer those. And I'll see you guys in the next update.